Hey, check out the sun this morning. There's so much smoke, it's just a big red ball. Plus, I think we're getting a lot of Canada's smoke. Canada's on fire. That's what Fitzy tells me. Oh, Fitzy. He's partying this week. He's in Sycamoose. So it's Sunday. Tomorrow's eclipse day. I'm southbound to Pocatello to get a bunk and a half of plywood. We're doing a roofing job today for Jake. Livy, let's stand over here. Fire's right there. Got the drone video on the eclipse. It's almost full, but it's all of a sudden got really chilly, like it's early morning. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. There it is. But anyway, we're roofing today. Okay, we've got old Kenny over at the shop, and what we wanted to do was take the wheel balancers off of it. And this has it's called a Centramatic wheel balancer, and they work really good. Well, we thought we'd just put them on the other Kenworth, but these are 11/22/5 rims, and the B model has 24/5. And when you put them on, you can't quite get through this window in here. Can't quite get through this window in here to get to the valve core. They sit like that. Anyway, the valve stem was in here, and you'd have to bend it down to get to it. So I have ordered a set to fit 24/5s, and there's just, I don't know, some kind of media in here. And you have to get up around 25 miles an hour before they start to work. But old Kenny used to jump and shake pretty bad, and I put those on, and boy, it just rode like a Cadillac. And with these new tires on the B model, it's beating us pretty hard. So we want to do something about that and see if we can't fix it. Hey, you want to watch something really stupid? Here, hold my beer. I think it's this right front inside tire. I think it's out of round. It's not round. So let's see. If I can put the camera in here. Okay, I got some wheel balancers today. These are Centramatic wheel balancers, and I'm going to put them on my W900B to see how well they work. These tires are really out of balance, pretty rough riding, and as you can see, the rocks that get stuck in them. So taking them and putting lead weights and trying to balance them, first you'd have to pry all the rocks out, and then you get it full of rocks again, and it's going to be out of balance. So I bought these, and these have a media inside of them. So let's open them up and see what we got. Okay, a lot of you have been asking how I've lost all this weight. As of this morning, I was 169 pounds, and I used to be 212. I'll show you some pictures of my fat face at 212. So anyway, how did I do it? Well, I did it through the direction of a doctor, and I'll put a link below to this doctor. He has YouTube videos, and I used a method called ketosis, and I used fasting. So it's about right now it's 5:13, and I've had no breakfast and no lunch, and I'll eat dinner tonight. And then I totally cut out pop. I drink a lot of water, iced tea, and I drink this. It's called LaCroix. This is a sugar-free, no artificial sweeteners, no carbohydrates, and it has some carbonation, so it's and it's flavored. And this is called pamplemousse, whatever the heck that is. Grapefruit, kind of like a grapefruit. Anyway, I sure wish I had a cat koozie, but all I've got is this Wabco koozie I got at ConExpo. Anyway, it's got a flavoring in it, and it's carbonated, so you get the fizz, but it doesn't stop the ketosis. Anyway, I'll tell you some other stuff later. Anyway, let's get back to the truck. Whoa! Oh, good Lord, I gotta have hearing protection. Okay, it says it doesn't matter which way you put these. You can put this to the inside or the outside. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, I had a lot of guys tell me that putting anise on the threads was a surefire way to get loose lug nuts. And I haven't looked yet to see what that's all about, but when I was putting my 440 together, I put it together with ARP bolts, and ARP has their own special lubricant that you have to put on the threads to torque them down. So my question is, if they tell you to put lubrication when you torque engine parts down that rotate at anywhere from 2,000 RPM to 6,500, and they don't come loose, then why should you not use it on a wheel stud, especially on a bud wheel? Because these are right hand thread and they're on the right hand side, and so they tend to keep themselves self-tightened. This is how they sound. And that goes away as soon as you get going down the road. Okay, I am sick and tired of this big old heavy block and putting it under the neck all the time. And when you put it in there, it's so far up here, all that weight squishes and compresses that block somewhat, and so your height always changes. So what I did is the other day I went out there in my scrap pile and I found a piece of 1/8 inch wall 2x4 rectangle tube, and I put it in here, and the neck is sitting on this. and it's lightweight. So I thought, okay, this is going to replace that stupid block. So I need a thicker one. So what I did, I've went and got some 1/4 inch. This is, I think, 3/4 by 1.5 inch expanded metal. And we're going to tack it down in a few places in there. And then I put one in this back one. And then this is a 2x6 1/8 wall piece of rectangle tubing. And so what I've done is I've put it up inside there. I only needed a piece 51 inches long. And then I just screwed this handle to it. And then I can pick it up and get it over here and pull it out like this. I can pull it out, and this is light. This is easy. And then I can just take it and put it in here like this across the ramps, and then slide it down here to where it fits tight. And so that is way easier than this thing. This thing weighs a ton. Okay, this is what she used to look like when she ran. I usually kept it pretty clean. Anyway, gonna take the headache rack. I don't know, maybe we'll just leave the headache rack back here, but when we bought the 05, we put the headache rack on it, and we didn't like the visibility. And you don't have to have them by law for what we do anyway. They're not going to save you if you run a piece of equipment up over into the cab. They're not going to do anything. They'll just break it off. So we just took it off. So next thing on the list is to get this hood off, radiator out, and then get pulling the motor out. You know what I might do is just get the hood off and pull the cab off, and then take the motor and transmission out, one whole unit. Apparently we had to steal a fuel line off this. Probably, I'm pretty sure it was for a scraper. Anyway, I was steaming, all of a sudden I saw something yellow fly up. And I looked, and I'd blown this cap off. So what I did is I pumped the primer and blew fuel up through there to make sure I got the water out, and I put another cap on it. What I'm thinking about here is, if you guys would like to be involved in this build, and you'd like to suggest some things that you'd like to see this truck have on it, put it in the comments below, and I'll write them down and keep track of who suggests what on the truck. And then when we put it on, I'll give a shout out to you. I can see something right here that's got to go. Anyway, there's a lot of cool things I'm sure that can go on a truck, and I don't know them all. So if you've seen something that you think is cool that an old A model should have, let me know. Also tell me how you'd like to see it set up. Wheelbase, whether you'd like to see a 36-inch sleeper on it or keep it a day cab. What kind of stacks. Just anything and everything that you can think of that you'd like to see this set up like. Now, I have a pretty good idea of what color I want to paint it. It's going to be a yellow, and I'll show you a picture of one that it'd be something along this line. But give me your ideas, put them in the comment box, and let's see where we go from here.